Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Wyland, joined with Elvin Wilson as my co-host, and we are down at the MGP National Championships, right down trackside, and we have Michael Olivier, or Oliver.
Olivier.
Oliver.
You know, yeah, Olivier.
What's wrong with you?
Where did you grow up? You are not cultural enough to. Like, let me just say, Olivier, Sir Lawrence Olivier. Everybody knows
Olivier,
it. I even get 12-year-old kids who are like, "Oh, Olivier." You know, like they
I
say
like
it right.
that.
All right, how do you say your name?
Michael Olivier.
Olivier.
I still can't do it right.
Michael
Okay.
Nicholas Olivier, aka Toothless.
Toothless.
Yeah. Hey, we're not on camera, right?
No, we're not on
So I
camera.
can. All right.
Oh, now you're on camera. No.
Shouldn't have remind me.
I can show you. Dang, I should have shown it. There's two reasons I got that nickname. So, all right. Yeah.
All right, Michael, we're down here at the field right now. Got
Awesome.
some great racing going on right now. What do you
Yep.
think of this so far?
This is awesome. I'm really glad that they did it in Vegas. Although it is not 90 degrees right now, but I'm a big guy. Anything over like 70 makes me uncomfortable. So this is beautiful. I got a sweatshirt on. There's warm food. There's plenty of warm food. Lots of great people. Everybody's in a thin coat, and we're good. We're good. And it's flat ground. Like, this is the best ground to have a track on ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Unbelievable. Love this.
Yep, love
like
the
an old
park
golf
here.
course.
It's
Yeah.
a beautiful park, nice and flat. Track isn't super huge, so a lot of people aren't going to be busting batteries. But
A
I'm
lot
sure
of gates, though.
Yeah, I don't think they need it to be. Not at this level. You don't need that massive speed. Everybody knows you can pin the throttle, you
Right.
know. So, yeah, it was definitely smart track design by whoever put it together. I think as an organizer, I think the individual and I do believe that it was thought of to be exactly what it is, something that can go up and hits all sorts of pilots. So I'm excited to see what happens.
yes.
The end is going to be fun.
That's all. Hey, it's always about the finish, you know.
A couple of Heli-Nation guys came down with you. Like, what pilots are coming down with you?
Well, we got White Noise, Kevin Lee, America's favorite, and then you got Nub. Nub is going to be down here
Who's
racing.
that guy?
You don't know who Nub is?
What?
Fastest rookie
Man,
in
he
DRL?
are you kidding me? He is the
I know who you're
most
talking about.
This is the guy that everyone's going to keep an eye on for. So not only does he have a beautiful beard, this guy has skill, and he is so calm and so chill. He is so focused. This is not just a hobby to this guy. This is his determination, his life, his dream. He is out, like right now, you don't see him here because he's out practicing and getting ready. He wants to make sure everything's set. Talked to him 2 nights ago, and the guy is at home making sure everything's still perfect, you know. But Nub, I wasn't surprised to find out that he ended up taking second at DRL. I mean, like, if I would have heard he took first, I wouldn't have been surprised either.
Right.
If you're at I.O. and you got a chance to watch this guy fly, number one, he took first place over in the microtrack. He shocked me when we did the team race, okay? Now, Heli-Nation kind of got screwed on that whole event there. We had the most, like we dominated that thing. It was game over,
Right.
because of Nub and the guys. Like, we won that. It was a small miscalculation on some who did what laps, and I still think we got robbed. I blame Chris Thomas. I'll talk to him about it later. I haven't seen
Not
him
on this
since then.
podcast.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But
Hey, this is not the place.
No. Love Chris, but no, Nub has been quite impressive. And if you've ever had a chance to talk to him, this is not a guy who is talking about, look at what I did. Did you see what I did? You know, and everything like that. He's asking you questions. You know, he's talking about the experience and stuff like that. So he does his talking on the track.
Right.
He
Does it
shows
well.
you. Yep. He is.
Yep.
Kevin is also one of those pilots who, when Kevin is on his A game, you can't touch him. Like, it'll be the end of an event, and Kevin's like, all right, I'm going to go put on some laps. He'll throw his GoPro on, and, you know, he got this huge clunky GoPro, and he'll throw a huge battery on, and he'll end up, like, smoking the best time that everybody had by, like, 5 seconds. It's like, what's up with you? Like, maybe we need to put more weight on your quad, you know. And I mean, Kevin's designed a lot of things, so he's been.
It's a handicap.
It's really right. He does just to help get him in the top spot.
Right.
But no, he's been impressive. It's been really neat to watch. A lot of the people, and then we came up with also got Stat, Tad from GVD. We got Phased, FPV Mom, Stat's wife is here taking care of things too. And then we got Spicy. So a lot of our area guys came out here to do some damage. We got Freakin', who is Kaminsky. This is one of the guys. Him and his dad and his brother started coming out to events 2 years ago, and in less than a year, they went from like bottom of the pack, my level, to they're here. Like, and he wasn't one of like the 150th person. Like, hey, you want to show up? No, he was like earned his right and got himself in here. So it's neat. It's neat to see it. So, and then in Heli-Nation, especially going forward, we're looking for those pilots that have a little bit more than just you can't just have your speed. You got to be that Kevin Lee, like Kevin Lee is that full package. Personable. You gotta have. What else do you do? What do you do for the community?
Right.
What do you do for other pilots?
Right.
I mean, and Kevin's whole goal is if he ain't building or flying, he's inventing. And Nub's out there, making a name for himself and helping everybody else along the way.
Right.
But it's going to be a interesting 2019 and. But God, I love the team. I am. Remember, just so we're all clear, I am not a Heli-Nation sponsored pilot. My skills are not there. Okay?
The man is
He is the spokesman for Heli-Nation. Is what he is.
This mouth right here. The mouth and the face. I do like to still say I feel pretty. I dye my hair sometimes.
Well, you're definitely known as a person who doesn't mind sharing his thoughts on Facebook. We see
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. And
somebody got to do it.
Scare people.
That's the reason why we have you on this podcast.
Nice.
We love
Thanks
it.
yeah, I'm glad you guys did.
Not just that.
Oh, come on. And
is there more? Are you guys going to drill me on something? Is it like the ice bucket challenge coming up or something?
No. We ain't doing nothing like that.
No. This is going to be different. This is going to be the first time we ever ask any guest to actually answer this question. That is, give us your feedback on the podcast. We want to know what you think.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm glad. You know what?
But first, let's just say this.
Folks. I felt a 20 hit me in the chin on the table. Well, now I'm 50. Wait. It's getting better all the time.
Hold on,
the most charming men in radio.
We have to say this, that you are with Heli-Nation.
Yeah.
And
Jen fan,
you're our contact guy at this event.
Yep.
And Heli-Nation has decided to give our podcast some things to give away while we're here.
We do.
And we wanted to make sure we mention that while we're on the podcast with you.
I got a box that just got delivered that is for you guys.
Sexy. Oh, Elvon
Sexy.
will be rolling around in some
No, go away.
What? You can't get it. Oh,
I
we're going
know.
to get you in a T-shirt before the end of the event. You bet. I need a picture.
I want a Speedo.
No.
Hold on. Hey,
tape.
check this out. So I know everybody doesn't, So John and Patrick, John's a family man. Patrick's a family man. He's got a son, wife, the whole thing like that. I have been trying to get them to do some Talon bikinis because I think it's really important that, us as pilots and, us as companies look at the people who come. A lot of us bring wives, we bring our girlfriends, we go to the beach, and we want to be able to rep that logo when we're out at the beach, And me, I like thick. I like meat. Men are not meant to be with sticks and bones, I wouldn't even look at a woman, under 110 pounds. So I'll tell you, there is nothing would look better than a Talon logo on the back of like a white bikini bottom. And we did actually, I made an outfit at I.O. for someone. We should stop talking.
Okay. Give us your feedback.
All right. On the podcast, you guys, come on. You guys, what's really nice is, so you've been around you've been able to sustain, the longevity that a lot of other people haven't. You get a lot of good people are quick storytellers, I'm great on a quick live video, or a couple comments for a little bit. But to be able to do that content, even like when we were talking earlier, it's that preparation. And you guys have been able to do the preparation, do the research, get to know the guys, and let people know what's going on outside of, their little hole in the wall, And I think a lot of pilots look for that, I don't just want you to go on and see, Alex every week. Nobody wants to just interview Alex Vanover every weekend. We all follow him everywhere else.
Right.
You know what I mean? We want to see, how is the guys in the trend, I talk about all the time. I'm going to say his name again, Greg Deviner. Mm-hmm. Greg Deviner's, the Brian West, the guys who have been being organizers for so long and, been fighting it to deal with the community, to make it better. And what's neat is you guys have those types of people on, and you know, even if they're not, you know, the superstars, those people will never get recognition, you know, really for the hard work that they did. And it's neat that you guys give that opportunity to people like myself and, you know, Greg, Brian, Kevin was on your show too.
Yes,
you guys
yes,
had Kevin on your show,
yes,
yep.
yes.
And it's neat to grab people that locally. They're the local hero, you know, not the local hero, but they're the local guys that everyone knows.
They're the drivers.
You know what I mean? They're
the drivers,
drivers, right?
The local driver guys.
Excellent.
Right.
And those guys get a chance to share their experiences from your guys' questions, you know? And it's not just asking people about the drone stuff. I mean, I've heard you guys ask, you know, people's personal lives and, you know, what they're doing here or there, their other jobs that they have, you know.
Because that's one of the things I love. I love knowing about you. What's your background? I mean, what gives you the driven thing to leave the house to go flying? I mean, sometimes it's not the job that orientates, you know, like some people are programmers, and so that's how they got involved. Somebody asked them how to do something, and they did, you know, or there's some guy that might be an engineer who got asked about a drone, how to make something, and those guys never get the light.
Ever.
You know, because they're never in the light.
Right.
You
That's
know,
the big
so
thing. Yep.
like it's like me and Wyatt talked once before. Like I'm the premier organizer for Portland. It takes guys like us to bring that out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So and that's one of the things that makes me go looking for certain pilots or certain persons in this industry is because I realize that not everyone gets the light and not gets the recognition that they should get for putting all the energy toward this hobby or sport, whatever you want.
Well, no, and that's right. And a lot of those people though don't care so much. Like I'm gonna give the best example right now. You know, like my guy Brian West. Like Brian now is really focused on his career and his family now. But you know, Brian put in countless hours at CDR. Put together the dome wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Brian. CDR, you know, wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for, you know, Brian putting together the gates, working with Mad Labs, you know, and Don over at Big Stickers and Signs. That was the battle there, and I learned so much by being involved with him and the fight, because you gotta love it. I mean, you gotta love doing that end of things, because again, there is no money in it, there's no recognition in it. I mean, you know, everyone assumes that, like, you know, sponsors are throwing us thousands of dollars and we're getting all this free stuff. You know, we get T-shirts and, you know, I mean, stuff like that.
You get $500 worth of batteries when you spent $15,000
right
just to get to that point.
Well, that's one nice thing that's different. When Heli-Nation helps us at all the events, things like that. They're really good with that. You know, Good Venture Drones hooks us up there. I mean, it's great to see it. But the guys like that, like Greg developed so many programs and stuff that is still used today. You know, don't ever try to argue with the man though, because you're never going to be right. I mean, I'll say that. Like, I grabbed a lot of ideas I learned from Greg, and a lot of ideas I learned from Brian, and a lot of ideas I learned, you know, growing with Noah up at Bladed Fury. You know, that was huge. Those are the people that are neat to see on the show. You know, like, it's just neat because they've dealt with the crap, you know, and even the Detroit guys, man, oh man, they had to battle to get all do their stuff, but they work together like machines. So it's neat to see people that you guys have, and you ask the right questions. I was really impressed that you guys are well informed, not just about, you know, doing interviews and stuff like this, but like the tech end of things. I mean, if you look at the pictures of, like, I didn't realize, like, you look at Elvin's place and there's wings up there, there's drones up there. I mean, you've been in it long enough to know the change that's happened, and I think that's important, you know, just to have the guys like you guys that are still in it, which I'm really surprised, because you guys have had your battles too, you know. I mean, it's like, you know, getting the right people on the show, and you know, what do we have going on, and, you know, are we being seen, and are we being recognized, and the efforts there. The neat thing is I do know that you guys, because other people will talk to me about the show, so it's cool you guys offer that. I mean, I don't know.
We appreciate the feedback on that. Wow. And, it's something that anytime we go out to an event like this and we hear our listeners come up and, say hi to us, we're always very appreciative of all of our listeners and also of people that are vocal and, help us improve and sometimes help us get guests onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's one of the things, too, is like
get the hookup.
You guys let us know what's viable. Sometimes – because we can't be everywhere, we're just two guys that he's got a job, I got a family, just like some of the other guys that are involved in this industry. And, we can't be everywhere. So, it's when I talk to you or I talk to Greg or this is how I find out about the other things that are going on or the other pilots that I need to shine a little light on.
What would be neat and what I would like to see is more so everyone in the industry that doesn't get out, I get to a lot of events. This year coming up, I'm gonna be traveling all over. There's an event in Colorado, I'm going. There's an event in Miami, I'm going. The wife was like, I want to travel, and I'm like, I hate travel, and she's like, oh look, Alex is rolling up. Let's pretend we don't see him. So there's those places. It's what's going on in the chapter world, down in southern Miami. Who can we talk to down there where things might be a little tougher because there's not a lot of parks to fly, or sure. What are the guys doing? What are the underground guys doing in New York where there's nowhere to fly? Right. Where are they getting together? Hearing what they're up to. What are they doing? What frames are they using to to deal with the concrete? Right. 4 years ago, we were all using these little 4-inch diatoms because they were so thick you could smash them against, right. But what are they doing? Because a lot of us are always looking for what else can we be involved in? I don't just fly drones. I hopped into the X class to kind of play. I want the wing class I want to be involved in. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of those guys want that too. So to talk to some of those guys that are not so flamboyant. You don't see them on Facebook. You don't see them, So finding those guys, that would be cool to be on the show. It's almost like finding, the hidden mobsters, Right. Bring them on the show.
I know some of them.
Let's hear. We'll put masks on their face and, do some secretive kind of conversation. Hey. You can blur it out if you need to, okay? Let's
We try to, man. We try to. Tell us a little bit about your chapter. It's I know that it's going through a lot of changes, but
it is.
Is it a good thing, bad thing? What's going on?
Good things. Milwaukee Rotocross was, it's been a battle because you got, a lot of good pilots coming up and stuff like that, and we got a tight centralized area by us. There's a bunch of little pockets of guys. Mm-hmm. Sheboygan, Kenosha, Brookfield. Madison, all over the place. And my partner that I originally started, Nick, he got work stuff going on, and he just had to. You got to focus where your family needs you,
Right.
And a couple guys really stepped up. Josh Newman and Trammell, man. Trammel's also a Team Heli-Nation pilot. Great guy, but he's got a family. And, they stepped up and helped put a lot of things together. I couldn't do anything if it wasn't for them. And that and the wife, my God, she tolerates a lot. And so Josh is actually going to be taking over a lot more of what goes on with Milwaukee Rotocross as I'm out and about and focusing on what I do best, which is, talking with the sponsors, mm-hmm. getting things going. I'm going to do some more traveling, bring some notoriety. Also, I want to try to focus more on getting the notoriety for pilots we have in our area. Mm-hmm. We got some really hot, fast guys. Trammell's already hot and fast. Stats, super fast out of our area. Josh is coming up, but I want to work on getting the attention to those guys. Mm-hmm. Getting them, the opportunity to, either get, sponsored, even bigger, get a battery sponsor. And I got to get out. I got to get out and do those things, and that's where it needs to happen. I got a new place. I just moved into 4 acres, so I got a track on my house. Wow. I can fly every day. That thing changes all the time. The neighbors tolerate bright orange gates, but they do. So we're going to be doing a lot of shifting around. We are going to do 2 big events this season, and we'll hope to get a lot of guys coming down for it. Do some money events, some big prize events, and then Josh is going to be putting on, plenty of the once a month events, and then we got a couple groups in the area that do. We have Stat and his group will put on weekly practices. They do it all the time out in Brookfield. I mean, they literally show up there every Wednesday, and and put up all the gates, and the guys all show up and practice. So it's cool that there's somewhere in our town for people to go all the time. So I've noticed there's not a real need to do a big push on the local chapter right now, because there's enough people out there that are all doing their own things, and guys don't like traveling more than, if you don't have to travel more than 10 minutes to go fly somewhere, then why should you? You want to be able to get your group, drive 10, 15 minutes, boom, and you guys can fly in a pack. We don't need to bring everybody all the way to the main field, because the city of Milwaukee gave us their own field, Lincoln Park, and we got this whole little island that we can use, whatever, bleachers, outhouses, the whole thing. Everyone doesn't need to come there. We can set up little spots, and I think that's another thing, too, that needs to happen more and more. People need to start working together instead of fighting with each other, And I have fell victim to this also. I will say this publicly. I have fell victim to the battle of my area, step up, like I'm doing this, like you can sit in your house, you can show up to my stuff or you can get out. Big mistake, but it happens, right? I mean,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like you can't be a bully. Like what am I what good is it gonna do? I show up and I just start beating everybody up, like that's dumb, and it's hard to just say, okay, you know what, my end, you deal with a lot of young people and, things going on, but everybody just gotta blend together. You be supportive,
Right.
I mean, I found myself going to 2 events in the last couple months, where I would never go to those people's events, ever in the past. Now it's like, why am I missing that stuff? Like,
Right.
I need to be out there, So it's
good, yeah.
It's a lot of growth. I'll tell you though, too, Midwest in general though is gonna dominate this year. I mean, you got guys like, man, come on, Johnny Fly, unbelievable, coming out of Detroit. Again, Fade, Stat, Our guys are coming out thunder. I mean, it is. We're the coldest area, but the guys are that much determined to fly.
Oh,
So,
okay.
that's huge.
Them's talking fighting words.
Somebody's
telling
talking up some
There's
stuff.
I am
fighting
telling
words.
you, watch out for the guys
noise
in the
coming from the
Midwest.
Midwest,
Come on,
boys.
man.
All right, that's good.
I got
okay.
faith.
Get your scopes out, everyone. Get the
no,
Leopolds
no.
lined up.
We're cutting
Check
that
that
off.
windage.
No,
Yep.
we're cutting that off. All right.
Kentucky windage. A
All
little
right.
bit of the pulp.
So, it's good to hear that you guys are taking care of business up there, and working together is the best way, because
Yeah.
burnout is real, and you're going to be traveling quite a bit. Are you also going to be repping for Heli-Nation as
Always.
you move?
Are you kidding me? Without a doubt. There is a talent on my back everywhere I go. There's only one other outfit that the sweatshirt goes on at times, GVD. But as a chapter organizer, though, you have to support everybody. I mean, look who's standing right next to us. I'm Kevin with Ready Made RC. He already has helped out in past events. So, I mean, that's a big thing. I'm very loyal. I'm very loyal. And Patrick and John have treated me that way. And I think, like Francis over at Good Venture Drones, and I'm sure Kevin will continue. But I like to support the people who I know are taking care of things and who are staying loyal themselves too.
Right.
Like you get these pilots who are
That's
like
exactly me.
game jumpers. I could drop some names if you
No,
want
no,
some
no,
drama. Are you sure?
no.
Because I could throw them out here right now and give some heat.
Don't please.
So
Don't get banned in our podcast.
All right, I'm not gonna get banned in there. But you know who I'm talking about. Guys
Right.
are always looking like and I've had decent offers, from people to just be like, hey, I need you to run your mouth, but you're gonna have to wear this, but not happening. So
I get it.
there will be, talent. Come on. It
There
looks
we go.
good on
Talent.
I like the flashy colors, even like I like
No, we
the
couldn't
bright
see that already.
orange and stuff.
He's like a toucanary. A toucanary,
I'm always
peacock bass.
peacocking.
Yeah,
Yes.
throw a little flash
Yes.
on there. Bam.
Boom.
Got it.
I am.
All right.
There
Michael on
is.
the line.
You look for those, and I mean that's the thing is that you, with anything, just earlier we were talking about that goblin right there.
Right.
You know what I mean? If something is good, you got to talk about it. Like TBS. If you don't own a Crossfire, shame on you. You know what I mean? Like, there are some products that I personally feel that every pilot should have, and you should believe in it. And especially if that company then is also helping support everything this industry is doing, come on,
And I will say this, that, we recognize TBS as one of the most crucial inputs into the drone industry for the last 6 years, or 5 years. And there's not many companies that can say that they've put in the effort. I mean, you have those little companies like Ready Made RC who,
Kevin.
I said little.
Oh,
No,
I think
I was
Kevin's
just
packing.
joking.
Kevin's a little angry at us now.
Kevin's going to throw a brick at you.
They're those. I'm not talking about like Ready Made RC. I'm talking about those others, And TBS has done more for the industry in hosting races, sponsoring races, giving stuff out.
Events, full events.
The fact that Trappy's here, that says a lot.
I just saw him. Yeah,
right. That says a lot, and I've always said that this industry has grown because of that.
Yeah,
Big
big thing.
TBS is a great company. I may not always like the direction they're going, but I agree that they're a focal point of this industry, and they will remain that till the next 10 years.
You got to have a lot of respect for what you just said. See, so that's the thing, is a lot of guys won't come on and say, I don't always agree with this, I don't always agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of schmoozing. You know what I mean? I mean, like, that's why
it's natural.
I get to do it. It is natural. And, so to be able to say that, but recognizing the fact that it is huge. I mean, there's companies, let's talk about, Jesse Perkins. You know? I mean, guy's a dominator. You may not like micros, but don't you like what he did? I mean, this guy is throwing stuff all over the place. Everyone loves the Tiny Whoop. Now, just remember, the Tiny Whoop started with the Blade Instruction by Horizon Hobby, okay?
Still
so
don't have one.
Do not ever take – then all you have to do is go to horizonhobby.com and buy yourself a Blade Inductrix FPV unit, and you will have one that works. I will tell you right now.
I've actually had 4.
I have never had one because Horizon Hobby has done a lot of cool stuff for us in the beginning and really helped out Derek and those guys over there, man. Unbelievable. So got a bunch of Tiny Whoops, and we gave them away to kids. So the whole goal was to help with one of the school programs. And every one of them worked every time. Every one of them bound up. Every battery worked. Every monitor worked. Every DVR worked. Everything went out, and it was done right. And that goes to show – when a company does something right, then they get happy customers, I mean, just like, I mean, and that's what, with Heli-Nation, that's the whole thing that John's about is, and Patrick is about, carry the right products, deal with your customers when there's problems, because everyone's got to understand. Things happen, you get a product you shipped out, it'll be there in 3 days, and there was a snowstorm in Colorado, wind turbulence, and it took 5 days. Now, you do get the people who all freak out, but so do housewives when they order from Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to happen. But all in all, you want to make sure that, you're delivering a quality product. You stand behind it. And if there is an issue, because we know we're getting all these parts, they're made at like 50 parts a second, things are going to happen. So it's just being able to keep that customer happy and knowing that they'll come back again. You can have a problem and they'll come back again, So, but that's neat. That's why I always like to mention the Blade Inductrix.
Well, that's that's kind of funny because once I had a problem with a product and I literally called Patrick, sent Patrick a message. I said, "Hey, I had a problem with this product, but I'm not blaming it on you guys."
Sorry, I just spit water all over myself. It's not your fault. I don't mean to get you riled up.
Right. But it's
sorry about the microphone.
It's not your fault. And he agreed. He liked that. I mean, he said, I really appreciate the fact that you said that. You know, I said, because it's not your fault. You know, somebody else made it. It's not like you made it. And it just so turned out that this product failed on it. So I'm not going to hold that against your company. I'm going to order another one. And somewhere along the line we'll figure out what happened.
Cool. But it helps by calling. Like, so many people. That's why I want to encourage people. with every company, especially when you're dealing with a company that is selling a direct product that they make. If something doesn't work, don't just say, oh, that's garbage, and then never order again.
Right.
Contact the company that's making this. Let them know, hey, this is where I set up. Now, don't be the guy who mis-solders something, fries it out, and then wants a free item, because that's just...
There's people like that.
God. And because in the real world, the minute the electronics leaves the shop,
it's your problem.
It's your problem, right? Put it together right. But you need to be able to communicate that back, because the developers, they need to know that knowledge. If someone keeps calling that says, hey, this is shorting out, if I was making a product, I want them all back, and I want to see what happened. Right. Because if it's one common problem, it could be the best product in the world, but it's got one bad resistor. Mm-hmm. You get that resistor change, and now you got,
right.
crossfire. Boom.
Right.
You can literally put things together like that. That's that's hard.
Definitely. All right. One last question.
One last question?
One last question.
Elvin didn't ask me anything yet.
No, Elvin, you want to ask? Hold on. You got.
Okay.
I got to answer.
The technical person wants to talk. Right?
No.
The smart.
No. Just smart Al.
He's not the smart.
Who's your favorite
My
championships?
My favorite pilot right now?
Yep. You can't be biased. You can't be.
Really?
Can't be biased. Okay. I'll give you 2.
Okay. You give me 2. Can you give me 3?
Okay. I'll give you 3.
Corey Tapp is number 1.
Corey Tapp. Why Corey Tapp?
Corey Tapp. Corey Tapp is number 1.
Okay.
He is my favorite pilot. He is my favorite pilot. He is one of my favorite pilots in the world. And I didn't mention him earlier because, Team Heli-Nation, Rotor Riot, biggest things in the world. I'm so glad you asked this question because I could do a segment on Corey Tapp.
Time out. I'm so glad there's a black person on Rotor Riot.
If it was good, hey, you know what? Corey Tapp, Corey Tapp is awesome. This is a guy where, like, if you meet him, you will leave, and it's like him and Bachgrinder. I could not believe these are. Corey, I knew I would love just because he's wild and he's crazy, and but Corey Tapp is by far my favorite pilot overall. If we get through racing, freestyle, all to the side, who's your favorite pilot? Corey Tapp. Boom. And then I don't want to answer number 2, 3, and 4. I really don't, because that's not fair.
You just said you wanted 3 spots, and now you only got down to 1.
Well, because I wanted to avoid 2 spots.
Oh,
but yeah,
fatty.
Yeah. So, I have a lot emotionally, and everybody from Wisconsin has a lot emotionally involved with Vanover. He turned around into the pilot he is today because of Wisconsin and Wisconsin chapters, especially, Bladed Fury coming up there, hitting Oshkosh, at the airport. And, Alex, I always root for Alex, but Alex doesn't need any rooting for. Alex has got it handled. Everyone could hate him and it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? But for winning right now, the big steps is I'm on Nub right now. Really, just because of how down to earth and chilly is, So,
okay. Nub. What else?
Nub today, and then because I don't want to jinx it, because Evan Turner for number 2, and he is for sure. And
I agree.
I don't want to jinx. I didn't want to jinx Evan. I don't want to jinx Nub. I don't want to jinx another pilot.
Don't say the order. Just say the guys.
Yeah, the guys.
Yeah, because really, Vanover, Turner, Nub, maybe. He's really good at finishing out of the surprise.
There's a lot of pressure in this event, so there are guys that I know don't do well with pressure.
Right.
And they're actually top guys that we all know.
Right.
Like number 1 guys we all know do not do well with pressure. And I think this is huge. Like this year, for some reason, is really big because this was a battle year.
Right.
I mean, for multi-GP and for everybody, there was a lot of struggle this year. Mm-hmm. So you win this year. You get in the top 25 this year. Mm-hmm. You earned it. I mean, you fought through it. I mean, organizers and pilots all definitely earned their spot. Yeah.
All right.
I got a couple questions.
Okay.
So, you guys, I hope you're getting the support, the patron support because you deserve it. I do want all the listeners to understand that, these guys are not out here in, flashy clothes and throwing stuff like that. I know Milwaukee Rotocross, we donate to you guys even after YouTube did their thing, but because it's something. It doesn't that's how you guys are able to continue to do this for us. You know what I mean? Like, you got a lot of gear right here, and unless you're telling me that you do interviews for Channel 6, you just don't go buy this stuff tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, it's an investment.
Right?
Like, just like an organizer and stuff like that. So I hope you guys continue to get the support that you deserve. And when are you guys going to have a title sponsor? Like, boom! I think if you start going live all the time, and we get your hair done up nice.
Yeah,
we get you some. Like,
I get him some curly.
Giovanni, yes.
Oh my gosh! All right, I'm ending this podcast right now. This podcast is ending right now.
Is that ending? Oh my God! We're gonna have to do a recap in a couple days because we don't know what's gonna happen in the next 48 hours. Like, I don't need to. I don't say this. It's really weird, but like, Joe Scully is like my public idol. Like,
oh gosh! Okay, stop sucking up to Joe Scully.
Joe Scully rocks, dude.
He's
not pretty, and he's Canadian,
Definitely
so that,
not
like,
pretty.
not at all. Like,
He's not
like,
pretty.
like, if I wanted
not
my
my
daughter to
idea
date, he's not who I would let marry my daughter.
No, I would let my daughter marry him.
You would?
Yeah, because he's not going to cheat on her.
Okay.
Hold on, I was joking. I'm not saying Joe's ugly. I'll just say, like, he's not, I just give him crap. I feel I'm prettier than Joe is.
Right off the cliff. Off the cliff.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
we got some Joe stories. That I do appreciate also the fact that you guys keep it classy.
We try.
Even people can get emotional, and you get into those situations and stories. So that's one really big plus, and thank you guys for that, because I could literally let my kids listen to any one of the interviews you guys do. Really, I could let any teenager listen to. Any teenager could listen to your guys' podcast and be able to get a little entertainment and stuff from there, and not be offended. You know what I mean? Like, that's why.
Yeah, I know. I've watched some podcasts, and people talk about some stuff that
your audience.
It's not even
relevant at all, so you didn't need to bring it up. And
I get the whole
I normally talk
the
about
X Games sports and all the other stuff that people are involved in, but like, if it's not drone related and you're not using a drone to film it or fly alongside of somebody, I don't really.
It's got to feel into itself like that. So, my kids don't like flying. They can, they don't, but they, they're always they're good girls, man. So they have their own things like that. Two daughters. Yep, I got an 18-year-old who is in college in Marion.
Nice.
And then I got a 14-year-old, my little Elabella, my princess, my little monkey. Mm-hmm. She's 14, and she's still in high school. And my 14-year-old still lives at home with me. 18-year-old obviously lives at college, comes back home, and
she still lives at home.
They're tough cookies, man. They're tough cookies.
There we go.
Little badasses like their mama and dad. So
bring the people that love it, like yourself, and then just enjoy life.
But we need to involve more family. Guys need to. Don't be hesitant to bring your wife. You will meet other wives and girlfriends, and I'm telling you, and any wife who's supportive of a pilot would want to meet another wife who's supportive of a pilot, or vice versa. I mean, there are good female pilots whose husbands come out, you want to be able to support them and meet the other people. That way, when you're at an event, you're not bored, I mean, like, I'll tell you, that's what's cool about Wisconsin. You come to Wisconsin, any event, Blade of Fury, Milwaukee Rotocross, you come out there, and the wives are there. Like, that's just a Wisconsin thing. I mean, we got guys with their wives here like that. That is cool, and I'll be the first to admit, it's a lot easier when you're in the middle of this to having your wife there than just your buddy. You know what I mean? Because, like, your wife's going to take care of you. You know what I mean? She may argue and yell and curse, but she's going to make sure you got it locked in there. So, and wives, girlfriends, the whole thing. But I don't know if we said this. Don't get into FPV until you have a wife or a girlfriend.
Right.
Because you will not get one once you're here. Like, it's not going to happen. You're not
Your
going to steal
attention-
another wife.
Your attention
Okay,
is
yeah, because if a wife has a nerdy pilot, she don't want another one. So you ain't stealing someone's wife at a drone event. Okay, it's not gonna happen. Okay, it's not gonna happen. So
That is funny. All right, Mike.
All right.
It's good talking to you.
I can do this all
great
day.
talking.
And where can
Thank you,
people
guys.
reach out to you?
They can reach me obviously at Facebook, Instagram. You can email us at MilwaukeeRoadacross@gmail.com. Find out what's going on. But just remember, Toothless RC, I'm here to stay.
He has all his
stay.
teeth, so I don't really understand this. part.
Just like
Oh my gosh.
us.
Okay, maybe not.
just like us. We'll be here till the end.
Elvin didn't see it.
I saw it.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah.
And the GoPro was going.
And the GoPro was going. All
I
right,
know.
Mike.
Okay.
It's always good to talk to you, man.
It's important. Thank you again for having me on the show.
No problem.
And I feel bad for all the people who
Heli-Nation!
stuck it.
Oh gosh, me too. Hey,
Hi.
You know what would happen if we took you out one night? Like, you didn't drive. You came with us.
That's what Elvin's trying to do.
I always try to do that.
Yeah? You have to
Like,
kidnap him.
Yeah. He's
We
like,
have a friend
he's
that...
like, oh my God, we need to go back to the room.
All
Get
right.
it. It's like 8:30.
We are done. I am stopping the podcast.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. 2009.